Welcome, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You got Pastor B in the building.
Pastor
Yes,
B.
sir.
Hey, I've been waiting to meet you, man.
Bro,
Like-
I feel like I was just telling Roger, I was like, I think I know you.
For real?
Yeah, just from maybe like events in Sacramento.
Probably. I know
I was trying to go on Instagram and see how long we follow each other, but I'm like, bro, I've seen your Instagram page for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, like Free Cousin P. I recognize the name, so I don't know if it's doing like spoken word events and different poetry things in Sacramento or what, but I'm like, bro, I know
He's
you.
been to music videos with Isaiah.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen that. It's probably, and it's, so I do photography, videography, and I work with a lot of artists out here. So I think that's probably, because like I seen you in one of Jay Kent's videos.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I just met Jay Kent like last year. He was doing a show that I was recording. And Isaiah the Dreamer and
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
And the whole crowd. So that's my keys. You better not go off. But yeah, that's probably where we probably ran into each other at
Maybe.
before. So Sacramento's it's a small big city, man.
It's like Reno, little big town.
Yeah, and there's a lot of talent here, and I feel like a lot of the same pools kind of use each other.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
the one thing I do appreciate about Sac is like, I don't know, maybe you could agree or disagree, but it's not cliquey. Like yeah, there's like little teams here and there, but like everybody at the end of the day kind of messes with each other as long as there's not like gang implications involved, right? Like that's the only people I know who don't mess with each other is like, people who are part of like, like Mozzie's set and then, all that. But otherwise, everybody else is, generally pretty
Solid
pretty
people.
chill. Yeah.
I think that we're getting better
Yeah.
for sure.
So you think it was worse at one point?
Sacramento?
Yeah. Like
Sacramento was bad, bro. I feel like it was bad, and I feel like all we were known for was like that scene of people. It's like gang wars and stuff like that. Mozzie, all these people. You play Mozzie, people are screaming in high school, like turn that off. And stuff depending on like what area you're in, and I think that we're just getting better, and I think people collab more now in Sacramento than they did before, which is dope. It's just dope to change
Yeah, you love to see
like
it.
the narrative for the city.
Yeah.
My friend Josh P, he's a rapper here, bro. He's like, to me, his next step. I think he's like proving it with his numbers and all the shows he's doing in Sacramento too. But he never forgets where he comes from, and he always puts like other people in Sacramento at the forefront of what he's doing because he's trying to build something new here in Sacramento. So it's dope. Shout out to him. But yeah, I think just the narrative for our city's changing.
Okay.
I'd actually agree, with that. Because, that's half the reason that, we started the podcast, like, X amount of years, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Something that we wanted to do, like, put Sacramento on and get people to work together. So, I'd like really fuck with that he does that. You know? That's what we're doing right here.
Yes, sir.
With you.
Yes, sir.
That being said, let's welcome to Shit Talk, Simply How I Think.
Yeah.
You got Rogelio in here. You got Mr. Cousin P.
Mister.
Your dad.
You just aged me up like 40 years now. Like
Mr. Cousin P, with the nose piercing looking fly as shit.
I'm trying to get my youth back. That's what it is. I'm doing all the stuff that I didn't do in my 20s. That's what
So when's the tattoos coming?
I don't know yet.
You don't have the tattoo yet?
I don't have no tattoos.
Gotta go get one, bro, tomorrow.
I'm a bare canvas. I know what I think I know what I want to get, but it's just one. I already know who I'm going to. I'm going to lose straight up.
She did all my tattoos, my hands, most of my tattoos, I should say.
Yeah, but we got Pastor B in the building. We talked about before, we want to start bringing more artists on here. And we always got to do the shout out, right? So shout out to all the dudes out there who just got broken up with because it's no longer cuddle season. But you dodging a bullet because it's hot girl summer. So amen to that. We all good. Pastor B, how long have you been doing music for?
I've been doing music for 8 years, bro.
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years. And I feel like my catalog doesn't speak for that time that I've been doing music. I don't post that many songs. I don't have too many music videos because there were so many seasons that I was changing my sound and just looking for what was me. And obviously we progressed through the years. 16 is so much different than now I'm 24. and I've learned a lot, and I think I'm just a completely different person. So I have been taking it a little bit more seriously this year, dropping music on Apple Music and Spotify, but really just trying to keep it like a journal entry, man. I love making music, and I never wanted to feel forced.
So what does 16-year-old Pastor B sound like? Was it Pastor B at that time?
It wasn't Pastor B.
What was it?
Be Nasty.
Be nasty. Hey.
Be nasty. Hey, I like it though. I'm not gonna lie.
He likes it.
But
Yeah,
no. So I asked that question because like I've known you for probably about like what 2 years now,
something like that.
and the first thing I heard of you was Jaded on your Instagram.
Yep.
And I really liked it
Thank you,
a
bro.
lot. I've immediately showed my boy over here, cousin P. He instantly said, "I fuck with that."
Yeah. Thank you.
But
bro.
what was the sound like for Be Nasty?
I want to know the difference. Like,
Yeah. Like obviously I make probably more a Christian sound these days. When I was 16 years old, I wasn't saved yet though. My parents aren't Christian. I didn't grow up in church.
Okay.
So for me, it's just a sound of whatever we're influenced by. I listened to Drake every single day at that time. So probably just trying to make like hit records. It was me and 5 other dudes in high school together making songs, bro. And our school loved it. And I feel like it made the time in high school very fun. But during that year, I feel God interrupted my life, man. I just was like, I want to separate from what I'm doing here and I want to go on my own and make something different. And since then, bro, I'm just making that kind of just like honest. People obviously would say like Jaded is a little more out there as far as like it is a Christian sound, but you're being really vulnerable and sharing a whole lot more than a traditional Christian rapper would say. And I always feel like I wanted to push the boundaries on what a Christian sound was supposed to be. Because to me, all I know is like confession. All I know is how do I admit what's going on? How do I tell people about the struggle of just because I became Christian doesn't mean it got easier. In fact, it's more difficult, in my opinion. And so I just wanted to share that, bro, and really use my music as like a journal entry rather than please the ears of the audience.
So how do you define the Christian sound? Because like I feel like it's really changing, right? Like, and you hear it even too, like with certain like Christian rappers, right? Like I feel like if you listen to old Lecrae, for example, it is really like more testimonial, right? Like it's like, okay, this is what I've been through. This is the trials and tribulation. This is how God pulled me from, whatever. And this is what I'm doing now. But now when you listen to like new Lecrae, it's still, it's not so much of that, like he's not really talking about that journey. And I noticed a lot of the new wave of Christian rappers, it's kind of the same thing. Like we don't, it's not so much about the testimony. It's a lot about, I guess, keeping it clean, in a way. But then also too, talking about like real life stuff in a way that as a Christian, you could listen to and digest without feeling guilty. Do you feel kind of like that's where the lane's at? Like it's less about, about scripture or God and is more just about making sure it's digestible?
I think that obviously, man, times are changing. Like, if you think about when I'm 16 years old, go back to like when you guys are in high school, there's a Drake beef, there's a Kendrick beef going on right now. We are in the last days of like the greatest rappers to me.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to depict who's next up.
Yeah. I was kind of struggling with like, who's going to be the next guy to get on a song and like share something vulnerable, or we're going to give him credit for his lyricism in the song. And it's been a long time since we've had another J. Cole or a Kendrick Lamar, or even further back to like a Eminem or a Jay-Z, and these guys who really just spend time
on their craft. You can tell.
On their craft. And I feel like the listening ear was more attentive to what's on this song, what is the content that I'm digesting, what am I hearing, and oh my gosh, that's crazy. How do you get that on a piece of paper? Where now we live in instant gratification, so everybody's just trying to make a clip.
Yeah.
So I feel like the reason why I wanted to push the boundaries is because those are the guys that I'm inspired by. I'm inspired by the guys who really care about the content that they're putting on their songs, where I feel like a lot of Christians these days, not to knock anybody, but I'm not a big like Christian rap fan myself, because I'm not really for like the pop song all too much. I do like to sit in the car and like listen to something a little bit more meaningful when it comes to rap. I think when I tell people I'm a Drake fan, they're like, "Oh, you like the song God's Plan?" and you like one dance and you like all these, you know, these different songs. But I'm like, nah, I like when he's like on those timestamp songs, you know what I'm saying? Or Nothing Was the Same, that whole entire album. So I feel like with the Christian lane, bro, it's always been hard for me to imagine myself in that bracket of like people who make music, just because I don't care about being like a Christian version of like anybody else and just trying to make like a pop record. Like for me, that's really why I got into poetry recently. It's because I'm just like, bro, it allows me to not be limited even to the beat.
Okay.
So, how old are you? Were you baptized?
Yeah.
How old are you when you?
I got baptized.
So, what I'm really like, of course, I want to know what age you were baptized, but when did you start making this shift from, you know, turning into the artist and the poet that you are today? Like, about what age?
Like,
because you're young.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say. I mean, me and him are 32.
Yeah.
You're 24 years old.
Yeah, sure. We almost got 10 years on you.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but you're young to me, bro.
Since I've known you, you're very mature for your age.
Thank you.
And that's what I respected most about you when I met you. Instantly, you were mature for your age. You meet a lot of 24-year-olds and they're,
yeah, it's not the
excuse
same.
my language, they're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And idiots. But like, you know, you don't, honestly, I would have never guessed you were 24 unless you told me. So like, yeah, how old were you when you were baptized, and when did you start making this shift into, you know, becoming, you know, the artist, poet you are today?
Yeah, I think, bro, like I said, in high school, God like interrupted my life, man. I got saved. I almost instantly got baptized, probably like within like 3 months of being saved. And I just started making those decisions like, man, I just want to change. I don't want to hang out with the same friend group anymore. I want to start hanging out with people that are also Christian.
So you got your friends though?
Bro, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, bro. And it was painful. And like, if they're listening, bro, like obviously like, still love you. Yeah, no, I still love them, and God really has like redeemed our friendship.
Yeah.
Before they didn't understand. Before it was, oh dang, you don't like me, and therefore you don't want to kick it around me, and it's because I'm a sinner, and it's
That's
because of
that
this.
maturity.
And I'm like, bro, it's not that, dog. Like it's literally just the fact that I'm gonna be held back. Like the more I'm around you guys, bro, I'm gonna be more tempted to go party. I want to go drink. I want to go get high and do all these things. Like for me, I was just so convicted. I feel like by the Lord to change. That I texted him one day and I was just like, "Hey man, like I can't be a part of the group no more. I won't be hanging around as much." And they took it personal, but like these days we've all had like a rekindled friendship, and they have an understanding of like who I am and who they are. They're still the people that they were, and I'm just the person that I am today, and it's okay.
Would you have done it any differently? Like, I guess,
Yeah.
It sounds like it was like, hey, you know, sorry guys, like I'm, you know, changing new leaf, can't fuck with y'all no more. But would you have, I guess, changed the approach? Maybe I don't know, tried to bring them into the faith? Would you?
They were the ones who brought me to the faith.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
shit!
bro.
That was going to be my next question. So what'd you get? What saved you? You know.
So wait,
So
so
what was the situation?
That's
that
great.
so they.
Sport.
Hold on. Before we get
Go
there, I got to hear this story. So
Yeah.
they brought you into the faith,
Yeah.
but you still had to cut them loose. Why? What happened?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think there is the person who attends church.
Easter.
Yeah, Easter or
Christmas.
or maybe they are there every Sunday. They're there every Sunday, but what does your Monday through Saturday look like? You know what I'm saying? Is it completely contrary to the person that you were on Sunday? And I feel like that's just what we faced in high school, man. It's like, yes, I am a Christian. Yes, I am a believer. But through the week, I'm facing a lot of temptation, especially being in high school. I hung around kids who were like popular on the football team, popular because of academics, whatever it was
I
around
can
the
read
campus.
between the lines. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
There was women and probably some recreational stuff involved
100%.
too.
Yeah, and I was part of that too, bro. And so, like, for me, it was difficult. Like I said, he's saying, like, when did you become this man? It wasn't in high school that I, like, became this man, because that's too difficult, dog. Like, I mentor, like, youth students today, and I feel for them, man. Like, high school is a hard place to be a believer, stand on what you believe in, and say no to all the things every day. So
I say especially now these days too. Like,
oh heck yeah.
Like I feel like when we were like in high school, you know, the expectation is, at least around faith, is that everybody believes in God, right? Like, you know, whether or not you go to church, you know, whether or not you know how strong your faith is like we all can agree that we all believe in, you know.
So is it crazy to me to say that faith was different back when we were in high school compared to like what it is now.
Now,
like your faith in God, like back then, you like you believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't all this other stuff that at least that I was aware of. I mean, I'm sure it was all there, but to me, being atheist. No, I'm not atheist. Don't take that the wrong way. But I feel like there's a lot more people that are atheists compared to like what there was like 10 years ago. You know, so like. I guess the faith that in what people believe in is just a lot different because, like, you know, there's always been all these religions, but a lot more religions I feel like are more popular with people now than just like Christianity or like being Catholic.
I think having no religion is what's popular.
That part.
I think what it is there's a shift in the culture where people don't like having their feelings hurt. And people don't like being told no. And it's not just soft. It's just, we live in a society where nobody wants to have shame for anything that they may desire that may be of flesh. And, when you are a devout Christian, there are rules and things that you have to, and principles that you have to abide by. And it's countercultural. It's counter OnlyFans. It's counter, hookups with someone who you just met. It's counter, all those, it's counter posting images on Instagram half naked. It's counter all those things. And I think that's really where people are like, well, if that's against what makes me cool or if that's against what, will make me feel a little good, then I don't want to believe in it at all. It must be bad because it makes me feel bad.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So I'm sure that's probably what it was like in high school, or even so when I watch some of your Instagram stories, am I understand that you kind of like a youth pastor in a way, or no? Okay.
Nah. So for 2 years of my life, I was trying to be.
Okay.
Yeah. From years like 20 to 22, I was trying to be a youth pastor, and I was doing Bible school. And like ultimately, like that whole story just went south, bro. And I had a lot of experience in the church and being in ministry and stuff, but just slowly realized I don't know if I necessarily want to do the whole ministry thing inside of these four walls. I'm probably like a walking contradiction in the sense that you're like, bro, you seem like you're a devout Christian, yet you don't like Christian rap. You don't want to work in a church. Like, I probably come off like that.
I get the Christian rap thing.
Yeah.
And we'll touch on that because I want to go somewhere with that, but go ahead.
Yeah. For me, it's like, I had my experience in it, bro. Every season is for a reason. It's something that I live on. And I think that I'll use the things that I learned during that time on another day. But right now, like, I just don't necessarily feel like that's the place God is leading me. Because I think it takes a lot of maturity. I still get my feelings hurt if a kid doesn't like me, bro. Okay. Like if a student, you know what I'm saying? Like if I don't feel like welcome, if I don't feel like accepted, like if I don't feel cool enough, I'm like, dang, bro, that sucks. That's not a healthy place to lead from. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it takes maturity to walk in those places and say, man, I'm not here to impress you, bro. I'm here to lead you.
In other words, the ego is still there in a way.
100%, bro. Okay. I'm an emotional human being.
Yeah. That's cool that you admit that, honestly, man. I feel like...
Not many do.
Well, not just... No. Yeah. Period.
Yeah, period. In general. Like, whether what you believe in or what you don't believe in. Like, not many people will admit, like, what you just admitted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like as men, most men won't say, "Oh yeah, I have an ego," right? Like that's like a curse word, man.
I get offended by it.
I kind of wanted to touch on the Christian rap thing because
go ahead.
I feel like I get what you're saying, and I just want you to say it. If that makes sense, because I feel the same way. So my wife, she loves listening to like contemporary Christian music and
like worship songs and stuff like that. Yeah,
which.
Not a fan.
I am a fan of the message, just not a fan of the delivery, if that makes sense, right? Like, I feel like a lot of times it's, like ABC music. Like, it's real simple. It's real, not really thought out. It's just, like I said, I accept the message and I appreciate the message because the message is what needs to be at the forefront. I think that, though, music shouldn't just be palatable. I think music should also be inspirational. And I don't find it inspirational. I don't find it like from a place that artistically will push me or make me really, really, really interested in it, right? Like I couldn't listen to an album of contemporary music. I couldn't.
Yeah.
You know, it's just because it's all going to sound the same. It's going to be the same chord progressions. It's going to be a lot of the same, you know, material. And I feel like even with some Christian rap, it's the same. You know, in that sense where it's heavy, it's really heavy on, you know, how hard my life was, and boom, that's it. Like, I don't want to really hear that all the time. Is that kind of where you were going with, like, a little bit with, you know, why you don't really care for Christian rap, or is it just artistically it's not driving you, or?
I just think that, I think that there's just more inspirational songs that I personally I feel like are more palatable to me. I'm just like, when I listen to a J. Cole song, bro, I feel inspired.
Yeah.
If I listen to Kendrick Lamar, I feel inspired. I feel like I want to go change something in my city. I want to go change something in the world. I'm not even trying to knock what Christian rappers are doing. I'm not like the supporter for never listen to them again. Like, I think it's literally probably what me and you relate on. It's just like, I genuinely just don't find the interest in it. And there's someone else who does. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who don't like J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar. Yeah. There are people out there who don't like them, and that's okay because they like the whatever. You know what I'm saying? That they like what they like. But, bro, I got to send, you says your wife? Yeah, we got to send her a playlist, bro. I know some like good songs though that are Christian. I think that you might like too.
Okay, I'm about to hear some, man. Because
I'm like, what does she listen to?
Well, she turns on like, was it K-Love?
Oh, bro, what? You got to turn that off. No,
as soon as K-Love comes on, I'm like, what is this? And you got to start. It's the same 20 songs, and it's like, and then we go to church, and we sing this, you know, the same songs, and it's like, what? Can we like one of my favorite artists right now? He is, you know, like not really well known, and I would categorize his music kind of like yours, but he's not rap. You know, it's R&B. It's like R&B soul, and his name is Manana, and you know he has a song called "Patiently," and it's so inspirational and it's so good. And the rest of his music, like it's not so heavy on the same concepts all the time. It's, you know, it like real life, like, you know, hey, every now and again, I feel like, man, I should have more money in my pocket. Like, you know, this level of fame that I want in my life. Like, why am I not fucking there right now? You know, that's the type of messages I really like to hear. And I get it. Because I guess with Christian music, it should be about God. But I think like when you're making music for people, I think it should also be about the people too. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like I really like your song, Favorite. Because like, so would you categorize that song a Christian song?
That's my probably most like Christian in the box sounding song that I've ever made. Yeah. Yeah. And that came out of like, that was in the time this year where I was challenging myself to release a single every month. And I feel like that was the result of trying to just pump out projects, which is still a good song. I like Favorite. It's song. Cool. I would like sing it to a girl. You know what I'm saying? But it is not my most like, man, I really spent time. I wrote that song in 3 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I sat down like at a dinner table and was just like, all right, I'm about to just write this real quick.
I always wondered as an artist, like, what is that? Like, okay, when you spend a lot of time on a song and you put it out, and sure, it might do numbers or it might, you know, really get picked up and people really fuck with it. And then you do a song that takes you 3 minutes to create and everybody's really, you know, jumping on it. Like, does that rub you the wrong way as an artist at all? Like,
I'm sure it does.
Like, I feel
personally, does it for you though?
I don't have any songs that have numbers, so I don't really know what the difference is.
But like, just in general, like,
if someone was like my favorite,
compared to a song you spent like a week on, you know, trying to figure out the lyrics, compared to something you spent 3 minutes on. The people liking the 3-minute song better than something you took your time on. Like, how does that make you feel? Like, if they like the 3 minute, like you know, song you made compared to like a song you took like a week on. Like, would that rub you the wrong way?
It would, yeah, if it happened. Fortunately, I feel like the people who do listen to my music like the deeper cuts. Like, a lot of people are really big fans of the, like, a Jaded, stuff like that. And I love, bro, it's my favorite song I've ever written. I love that song.
Hey, I play it a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, I've listened to it quite a few times.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess I feel that maybe what you're getting at too is like, bro, we've had so much of the, like we've had so much of the facade, and we're good off it. We want to hear something that's more honest, that's more authentic, comes from a vulnerable place. And that's what I mean when I say I was trying to push the boundaries of what like Christian music should sound like. For me, it feels like confession. There's a, you guys are familiar with like characters in the Bible. David gets on the Psalms and is like almost cursing God.
Yeah, he's criticizing him constantly.
Why the hell is this going on in my
yeah.
life? Why am I feeling this pain? Why does it suck here? Why there's nothing progressing? I'm feeling all these emotions. What do I do? But on the next page, he's praising him for everything. And it's like, for me, is what my music feels like, bro. Is this journal entry of like, I don't understand why this is so difficult, yet I'm gonna just keep following you. Yeah. And I trust you, and I love you, and I think that you're here. But yeah, bro, for me, I'm just like, I just want to break outside the box of what typical Christian rap and music sounds like, man. I just want to come from a place of vulnerability and authenticity. I think humans just draw near to that.
Yeah. I think that's really important. I think, if you don't know, I am a Christian as well. And I think, like, I know when I grew up Jehovah's Witness, so super strict, kind of religious. And when I turned 18, left, and then kind of went down this really worldly era of my life. And then, kind of came back to the faith. And, there's like this point when, especially if you come from something not good, right? Like if you've lived like a really worldly life and then you step into the church, it's like this feeling of like, hey, everything should be good now, right? Like, shouldn't really be a struggle, right? Everybody kind of seemingly is not struggling, right? Like unless they're coming to you on a one-on-one and talk, saying, hey, I need your insight, I need your help, can you pray for me, yada, yada, this is what I'm going through. But most of the time, there's a lot of times like this perception that everybody is just doing good. Like, like everybody's faith is just, it's, they get the faith of the mustard seed and it's hardcore and, they've never doubted God a day in their life and temptation doesn't even have a chance and they've never thought about eating the apple from the tree.
That is not a room I want to hang out in, bro.
Right. Those rooms exist and they commonly exist in the church, right? And I think I agree with you. And that's I guess what I was getting at. That's the thing I feel like is in the music too, is it doesn't feel like it comes from a place of experience. It just feels like it's arrived, but we need journey music. You know what I mean? Like we need music about where are you at now? Don't tell me about where you were and then now you've arrived. Like I want to know, like, hey, like, are you questioning things now? Like I need to know that I'm not fucking sick in the head, or I need to know that nothing's wrong with me.
Bro, I hear you, dog.
Shit, I'll be one of the first persons. I mean, I don't go to church very often. It's just not for me. I've been to plenty of churches. I've tried it out. I don't know why. It's just not for me. My mom, actually, she grew up in the church. Like, my grandpa was a pastor. My whole family, like on my mom's side, they always went to church. I went when I was little a lot of times, but now it just hasn't been for me. I'm just a guy that believes in God. I've had a lot of times, especially recently, where I've questioned, like, why are you doing, like, what did I do to, like, deserve half the shit that happened to me? I've had a tough time, like, this year specifically. Print knows a lot of the stuff that I went through and a lot of that, things I'm not so proud of that I've almost went on. But like, I do pray every night. I will say that, but I don't know why. Just like the church just was never for me, Like I said, tried it out. I just couldn't do it. And I literally don't know why though either. I've tried like 3 different ones too. So it's like, just never could. So I'm definitely one of those guys that I'm always questioning, like, why is this happening? Like, what did and a lot of times I'll be like, what did I do to deserve this? Like when something bad happens, but then like it's just like made me realize it's just part of the journey.
Yeah, and there needs to be more.
At the end of the day, like I feel like all right, God has a plan for me. So I'll just like, I'll ride it out. I'll keep praying. I'll like try to be strong and, rely on the people I know got my back to like help me get through it.
Yeah.
Like they're like my rock. They're my strength. I've told P this a bunch of times. I literally don't know what I'd do if he wasn't in my life. Like, and not to sound like any like type of like weird way, but I've told him like also like I feel like he's like my soulmate in this world. Like, I don't know what I would be without him in my life. We've known each other now over 30 years, which is crazy to think about. I don't think we've ever had like any type of like harsh disagreement where it would ruin anything, but
no, not really.
Huh?
I said no, not really.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know what I'd be without this guy in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for God for putting him in my life too. So it's just like, I get everything. Like, I know you guys both go to church. Like, it's just never been for me,
I think there does need to be more, like music for, I hate using this word, but they use it a lot in church. I guess for the lost, like people who haven't, found God yet, or, maybe they do believe in God, but they're just not, there yet. I think music would be more impactful in that space. So now,
absolutely.
Now, to kind of shift gears a little bit, you said you named some people: J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, who won?
We gotta go there. I mean, as soon as you said those names, I had to. I had to.
I still remember the.
Bro,
DM.
I told my friends about this. I was like, bro, I'm going on a podcast, and I was like, I know that Roger loves Kendrick Lamar. He's posted him every day. He's even posted the diss tracks.
That was funny. Everybody keeps saying
everyone says I'm the biggest Drake hater.
I haven't seen. No one's posted the diss tracks on their story yet. You're the only person who's done it. Everyone's talking about it. You're actually like, hey, everyone go listen to Kendrick Lamar's song as if he's like your homie. I'm like, bro, this dude loves Kendrick Lamar.
He's my favorite rapper. I'm sorry. I mean, and it's like I said, I don't hate Drake. I'm not criticism of him. I don't. I liked Family Matters a lot.
Family Matters is so fire, bro.
Dude, I love this song. Yeah. I mean, if I'm being honest, it was the best song of the beef.
What?
It wasn't the no.
Family Matters was the best song.
I think it was the best song. Yes, but it wasn't the biggest hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. That's different. Yeah, that's different.
It's not the biggest hit. It's the best song, but it's not the biggest hit.
Yeah, Not Like Us it killed it. It was over. Like it was just. He made a pop record.
I don't know if I agree with that.
With what?
He's more critical of Drake than I am. To be honest with you,
I'm not a Drake hater. I mean, like,
but you're more critical than I am.
We talked about. We literally were talking about this yesterday. I respect Drake as a rapper. I think he's I think he's definitely top 3. There is no argument there, and that has nothing to do with the achievements. Honestly, you take all the achievements off the table for both him and Kendrick Lamar. You take all the billboards, I don't really care about none of that. It, to me, is about that pen. It's about the music that comes out. And I think Drake, what he has done over his career to put out album after album after album after album is really, really difficult. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he's putting out 10-song EPs. Like he's dropping like full-length albums, whether they're, of quality of all the time. No, they're not.
And
always
then he's
dropping
deluxe editions with like 6 extra songs on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Scary Hours editions.
The guy is working hard. He's dedicated to music, whether he writes his own shit or not. But you know what I mean? But he's definitely one of the GOATs. Where Drake loses me, and this is where a lot of rappers lose me, when you kind of learn their back history a little bit. And honestly, he's a victim of this because his was really out there. You know what I mean? Like,
so public.
Like, Degrassi, right?
Yeah.
Like, we know where he came from. And before even after that, like, we know the image that Drake had even as a rapper when he first came in. Like, he wasn't like hardcore and talking about, mob ties and stuff like that. So when the switch up happened, that to me was when kind of like Drake on my like, you know, Mount Rushmore started to kind of go down like, hey, listen, like I don't need you to talk about, you know, cooking coke in the kitchen with the wrist motion because I know you weren't doing that. Like I know people who were doing that and you weren't one of them. And, you know, those people are still doing it to your music while you're profiting off of it. And I don't really fuck with that. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like it's a really unauthentic place to be coming from. Especially when other people could be harmed by it, but he can still spit. So I can't take that away from him.
Yeah. I do have something to say towards when you're saying like, we don't believe him basically.
Yeah.
Is it, we can say that like when what is he, a teenager when he gets, when he's on Degrassi?
Yeah.
Probably a teenager, right? And then he gets picked up by YMCMB with Lil Wayne and all them. Is there something to say too about like a young man being impressionable? And the people that you hang out with, you sort of become like them.
In a way, but Lil Wayne told him to keep it Canadian. He said, you know, hey, don't. I mean, he told him you could watch an interview. Wayne says, you know, don't try to do the thug stuff. You know, like rap about girls, make hot, you know, hit records, and you know, keep it Canadian. Like, don't, you know, you don't got to act anything different. I think that also was, you know, more advice to just marketability. I think Lil Wayne was the victim of not being extremely marketable, you know, which is why he kind of changed up his sound a little bit.
Which is crazy to say because he's up there on one
Yeah,
of the
he
best
is.
of all
Top
time.
5.
But if you think about it,
yeah, I mean,
if
I'd
you
say
think
so.
about it, there wasn't a lot of Lil Wayne records on the radio, at least here in California. No, there really wasn't a lot for how big his.
Maybe not his own songs,
There we go.
but he was always on the radio.
Features, right? If he was featured with Nicki Minaj,
Every single feature.
There's a good like 8-year gap where him and T-Pain were just the future kings.
right?
They were always on the hooks, always on like different like verses. So like,
She didn't hear nothing on the Carter or the Carter 2 on the radio.
other than like Go DJ and like Fireman. Because
that's
you
it.
would hear those on the radio. And then Millie, he had a few songs. If I really looked at a bunch of like songs that he was on, that he did, he had a few like radio songs.
You also got to consider too, his songs are far from clean.
Absolutely.
The whole thing's going to be bleeped out if it's on the radio.
Absolutely.
And that's, you know, I think that was really the issue, you know, right there. Like I said, marketability. I think Drake is more marketable, which is why he's had a major career. And I think the numbers don't lie. His numbers have dropped a little bit in comparison to his previous albums. And I think a lot of it has to do with radio play. I think a lot of it has to do with...
When's the last time he had a radio hit? Can we even think of one?
Shit.
It's got to be like
Controller.
Going Home or something?
Controller was a radio hit. No, there had to be one more.
Who are we talking about?
Drake. When's the last time you heard him on? I mean, I don't. To be
Tootsie
fair, I
Slide.
don't listen
Tootsie
to the radio,
Slide was probably Life is Good.
God's Plan was probably like the biggest.
Yeah, God's Plan, Tootsie Slide, Life's Good. Those are probably the most recent ones.
Oh yeah, then the song with Future, the Wait for You.
Okay.
But that's Future song.
Yeah, just Drake's song.
That's Future
Was
song.
it on the Future Drake album?
No, it was on the Future album.
The collab album. Jumpman.
That was
I
Future.
hate
That was
song.
Future song. Future slid on that song. I don't think people don't give him a lot of credit. Like
Future?
Yeah.
Future's fire.
Okay.
Yeah, Future's so fire.
Yeah. I feel like people
You don't like Future, bro?
No, so
Oh my god, I love Future.
I just have to be in the mood to listen to him
Okay.
because I don't like repetitive stuff. So, for instance, that Drake song, "Just Hold On, We're Going Home," I can't stand that song. And the only reason I can't stand that song is because every time I listen to it, I'm like, does he even have any verses on this song? It's just like him repeating the same damn thing. I can't. I mean, I couldn't stand it. I like literally, I can't listen to it. I like that album though, which is
That's
weird.
probably one of his. Yeah, it's like top
Like
two.
that album's a really good album, but that song I skip every single time. And then I hate when I hear it on the radio. But I do sound like a Drake hater, but I'm not. I promise I'm not. There's a lot of songs of Drake that I do like.
Yeah. For me, like I said, it's just that he's not so believable in this new era of
Says we
Drake.
like Drake with the melodies. And
Yeah.
hate Drake when he's acting.
I think Drake is. Which here's
I feel like I can punk Drake. I'm
Here's-
not gonna lie.
I don't know.
Me and Drake in a room, I'm punking him for his shoes.
What?
Look, I'm not gonna call him
Give me a
another man
chain.
in that way, but
Yeah.
like here's something. I think Drake is like when it comes to songwriting and creating like really palatable music in a hip hop space. I think he's like Kanye level. You know, he is.
Yeah.
Like he can make a song. He's not Kanye. Kanye, I mean, is, let's be honest.
How do you feel about Kanye West?
He's the GOAT when it comes to making a song in hip hop.
How do you feel about Kanye West?
He's a wonderful producer, terrible lyricist.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think that, yeah.
Absolutely. Kanye does not focus on the lyrics whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about that. It's completely about the melody.
I felt like old Kanye did.
Well, yeah, because that was the space that rap was in at that time.
Yeah.
And I think when he came out with 808s and Heartbreaks, it took hip hop into a completely different space. Like
That's
without
one of
that
my
album,
favorite albums.
without that album, we don't have a lot of artists that we have today. Let's just keep it a buck. You know what I mean? Like that made it cool for like rappers to kind of rap sing on an album. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have to be, Alicia Keys. Like you didn't have to actually have pipes to actually sing on a whole album.
Name some of those rappers. Who wouldn't we have without 808s?
We want to
and
have
Heartbreaks?
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott. Ty Dolla
We
Sign?
want to have Drake. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. Ty Dolla Sign, maybe, maybe not. Would you consider him a rapper?
Who?
Ty
Dolla
Dolla
Sign?
Sign? I mean,
No.
he's labeled under hip hop rap though. Like when you look him up,
It's not R&B.
nah.
Which
is crazy
What
to
he
me.
is. He's an anomaly, bro. He's
Yeah, that's kind of like how
an
eclectic it
ad-lib
is.
king, though.
I mean, but that's how I consider Drake most of the time, R&B artist.
You don't feel like he's a rapper?
I mean, he has good rap songs, but most of his hits I feel like are R&B hits.
Yeah. Does
He
his
sounded more and more like a.
does his
I've always said that about Drake though. So it's like I'm not switching anything up.
Yeah.
I've always said I like Drake when he's on the R&B stuff. There's a lot of rap. I mean, Over. I don't know. You remember the song Over by Drake? Love
first song,
that song.
That's the first song I ever heard.
I love that song.
Drake.
That shit was hard.
It was hard.
His Forever song with everyone on it was dope. I don't think he had the best verse on it, but it was a dope
Debatable.
song.
That's debatable, bro. We can't name who has the greatest verse on that song.
Oh yeah, we can. Eminem.
Bro, Lil Wayne's verse is tough too.
Didn't I say that the other day? We talked about this.
Bro, Lil Wayne's verse is tough on that
Wayne's
song.
verse.
So
Probably.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, this is my order. So I said it was Lil Wayne, Eminem, Kanye, Drake. Because I like
No
Kanye.
chance Kanye's is not better than Drake's. Drake's verse is tough too, bro. Last name ever, first name greatest.
Come on.
Like a sprained ankle.
I'm nothing to play with.
I
don't know,
never
bro.
thought anyone would pick a Kanye verse over a Drake verse.
There's been a couple times where Kanye slid those songs.
What song?
Like, what was that? That Jay-Z and Rihanna song, Run This Town.
Oh,
I thought Kanye's verse was fire on that.
Yeah, that's a tough
You know,
verse.
I thought Kanye's verse.
Click. He went hard on Click.
Oh yeah, he did. He slid on that. And then the track. Most of the tracks he did with Jay. A lot of times he kind of.
Solid in that song.
Otis.
Yeah, Otis. That was one of the tracks that was in my head. Otis. He absolutely murdered Jay on that track.
Watch the Throne. That whole album, I feel like he did. The Watch the Throne album. I feel like
Yeah,
all Kanye's
there was a
verses
couple
are
songs
better.
like what was that? No something in the wild with
Frank Ocean.
Frank Ocean. Jay-Z did his thing on that.
I miss Frank Ocean songs.
Just want him to come back out with music. I'll say with Kanye West, I'll be honest, I've never been the greatest. Like, I was a fan when I was younger as far as the music, but I've always appreciated who he was, the culture more than anything. Just because I like clothes and stuff like that. In his mind, bro, listening to him speak, I'm like, he's such a brilliant man. Like, of course he's crazy. Like, how could you contain?
Do you feel like that to this day?
How could you contain all that? You know what I'm saying? Like, brilliance. Like he's a really smart man, bro. He does say
incredibly
some
smart.
dumb things, some pretty outlandish things. And his opinions are like crazier these days. But bro, you go watch like a what is that documentary called?
Genius.
Genius,
yeah.
bro. Like,
Was it? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
But
And
that was
I've
good.
watched tons of interviews with Kanye West, and I'm like, bro, he's brilliant.
That was a really good documentary.
No, that documentary was incredible. Not only did it show just how smart he was, but like his tenacity was crazy. You know what I mean? Like walking into the building and like
Bro.
playing the song in the
Everything.
cubicles for everybody. Like that.
No one's gonna not let me make it.
Yeah. Like nobody's doing that. Nobody has that level
Yeah,
of
people
drive.
don't got it no more, bro.
It's kind of crazy to think that he had to do that, considering like the artist that he is now or was. That's what it took for him to make it. You know, like if you think about it, if you didn't see that documentary, would you expect that's how he did it?
No.
Exactly. You would think that, Jay found him and,
I would think that because of his producing ability, he was around and one day got a shot.
Yeah,
But it was
exactly.
plenty of times that he was trying to get a shot and they were like, hey, bro, you got something else.
he literally had to kick the door down for
Facts.
himself.
Facts. And he created a new sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fire for a lot of years too.
No, it was great.
It's still firing now. It's just, I mean,
Didn't we talk about this? We can go without listening to Kanye right now.
I don't care for a Kanye album anymore. I don't. I really enjoy him producing on stuff. Still to this day, one of my favorite albums was that latest Travis Scott album, Utopia.
Oh.
You look at the producer credits, he's all over that thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's all over the album, and it's and then you go back and listen to it, like, okay, yeah, that's right there. Okay, no, I get it. I see it right there. That's a Kanye song right there. That's
Is
just Travis
Utopia a
Scott's
better
voice.
album than Astroworld?
Yes.
No chance.
What?
No chance.
What?
Not a single chance. Astro World is, Astro World is so fire.
They're both fire.
I love
No,
Astro
they're
World.
Utopia is great too, but oh my gosh, bro. Astro World, you remember, like, that was the time.
I still listen to that album. I
What
still
other,
listen to
what,
both.
no, I'm not gonna say.
You said what?
I was just say, what other rapper shut down his own venues because people were going crazy over the album Astroworld?
Yeah, okay, so this is what I would say about Utopia. Utopia, we got a more conscious Travis Scott.
I agree.
We got a Travis Scott where he was like, okay, I can't make rager music anymore. Like that's a no-go. Or at least not right now. Like my next album can't be the same album where they're knocking down walls and killing security guards and stepping over each other again.
Yeah.
Like that can't be the album. Like we got to do something that still is Travis Scott, but it's not that Travis Scott. And I think like what we got was kind of like rodeo Travis Scott all over again a little bit, or maybe like before the rodeo Travis Scott.
Antidote.
Well, before the rodeo was before Antidote. Like that, like if you go listen to Travis Scott's mixtapes before he like came out, like was big, they're fire.
I never listened to Travis Scott till Astroworld, and I loved Astroworld.
Travis Scott's one of my
It's
favorite
still
rappers.
one of my favorite albums. I'm not gonna lie. I love Travis. I love Astroworld.
I think I got put on for Person in the Chat sing McKnight.
Okay.
That's when I got put on to Travis Scott. But before that, I have friends who I have a friend named Antonio. He is like the GOAT of finding artists before they blow up. And he was listening to like Rodeo, you know what I'm saying? Like he was listening to songs and I'm like, bro, why do you listen to that stuff? And then like he was listening to Daniel Caesar before Daniel Caesar got big. Like
I think we have a friend like that. Daryl's kinda
like that, yeah.
because
he was like, how do you find these?
he
people?
put me on the he put me on to Jack Harlow before I started hating Jack.
Or
Harlow.
La Russell.
Really?
Yeah, he put
La
us on to
Russell.
La
Oh,
Russell
dude, I
before
love
La
La
Russell
Russell.
kind of, started really popping.
You
Now he
seem,
going
you
on
seem
tour
like a
with
La
Keith
Russell fan, bro.
Me?
Yeah, I feel like you listen to La Russell a lot.
I do. Yeah, I could.
Yeah, La Russell's cool.
I'd be buying his merch too. Like hanging up in my garage right now,
Yeah.
drying is like one of his merch. And honestly, he does merch the right way. And like, so you guys know how he does. He sells his merch, right? It's pay what you want. So for real,
On the internet?
on the internet, he'll promote it. You pay what you want. You put something in for $1, you're paying probably $11 for it because he does charge shipping. But still, $11 for a shirt that it's good quality, you can't beat that. Everything is pay what you want. For real. I bought 2 shirts and like I could have lowballed it at like $10 if I wanted to.
You feel like that's the right way?
I feel like that's dope. Yeah, it's dope. I mean, I ended up paying like $30. So I paid $30, then the shipping is $10. So I probably put out like $40 because like, I respect the craft and like, I respect the fact that he's doing this pay what you want, right? And I'm sure a lot of people take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think there he's taking a financial loss, but he's taking a financial gain somewhere else because of it.
Exactly. Like even our boy Daryl, he went to the show because he was in Sac State like a couple months ago, and he was selling his book. He was like, "Yo, pay what you want." Daryl's like, "Yeah, I bought his book for like $10." There's people paying like $1 for it, $5, like all this stuff. But that's dope to me. Like when artists do that.
Yeah,
because you build support.
And then like he says, like, you know, it's for his studio time. You know, it's for him to get in the studio, and dude puts out like a lot of shit. Like I just saw he dropped a single like yesterday, and I just respect that. But yeah, I do listen to Lil Russell, but my boy Daryl put me onto him.
That's dope
For sure.
All right, we took a major detour. Hold on,
gotta go back to the beef.
yeah.
Oh.
But I want to know before the beef, and I want to know after the beef. So before the beef, right? Kendrick Lamar comes out with Like That, or he's on Like That. How are you feeling? What's the energy?
The energy is I need Drake to respond.
Yeah,
Yeah. The energy is I need Drake to respond. It's not the first time Kendrick Lamar's done that, bro. We all heard Control. And no one responded to Control. No one made a diss track back.
No one on that record responded. There was tons of responses, if you remember. Like Joel Ortiz responded.
Yeah,
Everyone
like
that he didn't name responded. And I'm just like, why?
But I think it was there was an option for Drake to let it go. I think there was an option for Drake to let it go, and we would be fine today. We wouldn't still say we would be fine. I feel like I as a Drake fan, I'm like I'll probably be good if he didn't reply now. At the time, of course, I'm hyped up in the moment. Like he's got to say something, bro. Stick up for yourself. And for me, it's like living in the moment of everybody else had a Tupac versus Biggie. To me, this is that. I'm like, these are my two favorite artists, and they're going head to head, and J. Cole's involved at the time.
I wish he would have stayed involved, to be honest.
I don't think so. I don't think he's connected to I don't think he knows enough about people.
It's just healthy rap competition, though.
The thing is,
with him, I think Kendrick Lamar actually hates Drake.
Drake's downfall is his life is so public. He's so involved in the media. People know too many things, and it just dismantles him every time, bro. How do I feel after?
yeah.
How do I feel after? I do wish Drake stayed quiet. I think you learn. I think you learn from a Pusha T rap battle and say, when it gets to this level, I know that someone's gonna go reach for like the kill shot. And when I talk about someone's baby mother, it's a wrap. I think that Drake should just stick with the
Who won, Pusha T or Drake?
Pusha T, bro.
Okay, because
Yeah,
Infrared was fire.
Drake, bro, W freestyle is amazing, but when you pull out that someone has a kid, that Drake has a kid and he's hiding a kid,
That nullifies everything.
it's a wrap. It doesn't matter what you say. Again, Family Ties is a great song. Kendrick Lamar responds in 5 minutes, and knows every single lyric to the song already, and makes a song called "Meet the Grams," and then the following morning drops "Not Like Us."
Yeah.
He wins, and Drake is the king of I'm posting on my story. I'm gonna be on social media. I'm so involved with culture. Kendrick Lamar's like, cool. Your 5 minutes of that song was dope. I knew the whole thing the whole time. Here's Meet the Grams, and here's Not Like Us.
That being said, because our last episode with Marvin, we talked about this. Do we really think, Kendrick had someone in his camp? Was it kind of confirmed?
I think it was confirmed, right?
Afterwards, yeah. Because even academics said that, Drake lied on a lot of things that he said on The Heart Part 6.
The whole track was a lie.
Yeah, the whole track was a lie.
Yeah, that's sad. That's so sad.
I don't know how involved on social media you are, Print. Did you see on like Twitter there's this guy like that was like trying to expose everything? Like he was the mole. I forgot what the handle was.
It was
like Avenue, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like was he the one that low key exposed like academics as like, because academics right now is being like
He has a lawsuit.
harassed, or like not harassed, but yeah, he has a lawsuit for like sexual harassment and like, is it? I don't know. Like,
I thought he cleared it up. I thought he got on like a.
I don't know. I hate academics, so I don't really.
Really, yeah, he got on his platform and he was like the police told me I'm good.
Oh, cool for him.
Yeah,
but I can't stand that fool.
When it comes to act, like I've learned to appreciate him in one space, The other spaces, I can't do it. Like when he tries to do like the manosphere space, you know, like no, like just because now you make a whole bunch of money does not mean like you can now speak for all men. Like that whole thing, that trend that's going on lately.
I agree.
Like it's corny to me. But when it comes to hip hop and music, the thing I do appreciate is that he does come forward with his biases, but he still tries to at least keep it fair. Like that's what I at least saw, like in the whole, you know, Drake versus
I was
Kendrick
appreciating
thing.
it. He was saying that Kendrick was winning.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple times where he
like
was.
Maul.
Yeah, Maul's that man's on payroll. I don't know what's
Drake.
going on. It's crazy. Like whatever.
He was so emotionally invested in that clip, bro. Like you see the do you know the clip I'm talking about? It's
I
him
didn't watch
there,
it.
bro. It's him. He literally starts yelling. He's like, Drake saying he got everyone in this camp. He's exposing like on the Heart Part 6. He's saying that he did all this.
Yeah.
His voice is cracking.
And
That's crazy.
He sounds like he's about
you
to
can
cry.
see
him
the
for it.
emotional.
Oh my God. What is Joe Budden's response? He's just like, bro, I feel bad for you, dog.
I don't think Joe Budden ever responded.
No, Joe didn't respond, but even Rory was like, "Are you okay?"
Dang, that's sad.
Like,
I
Rory-
was like, me and my friends were debating every day about it. At a certain point, I was just like, I'm done, y'all. Like, I'm starting to get too emotionally invested, and I don't want to feel like I'm idolizing Drake. I was like, I don't want to feel that way. Regardless, it's like, cause bro, it's your goat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, this is my goat, bro. But at the same time, I just had to be honest. Like he lost, y'all. He lost.
At least you could say that, because I feel like a lot of these Drake
There's a lot
fans
of
are,
Drake fans that are just like,
you know, especially when it
Delusional.
comes to.
I got onto it with so many people on TikTok.
Bro,
Really?
the argument to me that's
Yes.
the most cringy, the argument to me that like I'm like, guys, shut up, is when they're like, well, Kendrick should be thanking Drake because Kendrick's first #1 was a diss song about Drake. First and foremost, that's incorrect. Kendrick has more #1s than Not Like Us. Okay. 2, how many people have dissed Drake in their careers and have never did numbers? You know what I mean? Like
Even Pusha T.
that's what I'm saying. Like, so just because you diss Drake doesn't mean you're automatically going to do numbers. That's not the Drake effect. That's not how this works, right? He did numbers because the song, even without even mentioning Drake's name, is fire. Like that song could have been completely ambiguous, and that's still a clean song. Like Kendrick Lamar on a mustard beat is something that I guess we've all wanted secretly. You know what I mean? Like, it's a hot song, and I think a lot of Drake fans kind of downplay everybody else's successes and ability to make music in that space. You know, it's like Drake is the only one that can make music like this. Everybody else, whoever's #2, it's like this. And I think a lot of them didn't realize, you know, Kendrick does the numbers too. He just doesn't put out as many albums. You know what I mean? Like
That's always been his biggest fault. He don't put out the amount of like.
and I'm okay with that.
I am too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are. The Damn album is a good album. There's hits on there though.
Underrated.
There's hits on there, bro.
People don't think that's a good album.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's wild.
that and even
Mr. Morale.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Yeah,
That's a great album.
not
an even
many
better
people
album.
agree with this though.
Yeah, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Is
I
a
mean,
really good
I don't even know if honestly if like Kendrick's worst album like is still a good album.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I would say it's probably Untitled and like the Untitled album he did.
But it's not even really an album.
It's not really an album.
Those are the throwaways he just
And
put out because
that-
LeBron James wrote them on Twitter and asked for it.
They're all good songs too.
Like,
So it's like, does K. Dot really have a bad album? Good Kid, Mad City was amazing. Mr.
Yeah,
Morale,
I wouldn't
amazing.
say
Damn,
any-
amazing. The Butterfly Effect. What is it? What's that album
To
called?
Pimp a Butterfly.
To Pimp a Butterfly. Yes,
that's a classic. I got that on vinyl.
I love the way that whole album like is played out. Like I have to listen to that in order because like you know him like you know speaking at the end of it, doing his poetry to Tupac, and then how it ended, fire.
As much as I said before too, like I love lyrical content, but I also just need a song to get me through a breakup. And I think that's what I appreciate Drake for too. Is Drake can to me hit all areas, whether it's believable or not. I think his delivery in it, he does a good job. To me, I'm like
I agree.
Drake has a lot of bars, bro, and I don't think people give him credit for being a rapper because of their like. I'm not sure that he wrote that. Like he had to have written That Scary Hours 3. That Scary Hours 3 was tough.
I think
I agree.
I think hip hop needs Drake. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Hip hop needs Drake. It does. We need somebody who could put out music at that level, at that clip, right? Like, constantly, and music that does bop. Like I mean, as much as I made fun of the song, like because I DJ, a little bit. I love playing Rich Baby Daddy if I'm fucking DJing. That shit goes hard. Like, like when you play that song, people start they start dancing. Like, hey.
Did you hear the one that he just did with Sexy Red like 2 days ago?
Under
He
the
raps
BBL
on
jersey.
BBL jersey. That's
Okay.
tough.
Before I give my opinion, I have to know your opinion.
On the song?
Actually, yeah. But before you even answer that, did you listen to the full song or did you just listen to Drake's part?
No, listen. Yeah, front to back.
Okay.
I just listened to
Thoughts on the
Drake's part.
song, and then you can, and then your thoughts on his part.
Sexy Red is it's in his, I don't know if it's the beat or what, but I'm like,
You liked
it's
it?
exciting.
Sexy Red?
It's not that I'm not digesting her like lyrics and stuff that she's saying. I'm just like, this slaps though when it plays.
Yeah.
As far as Drake's verse on the song, I texted my friend instantly. I was like, bro, did you hear it? Did you hear it? But and he put it in perspective to me like quite well. He's like, man, I think we're done with the pettiness of Drake. Is just like my response is, I'll just rap on the BBL jersey. Oh, and the reason why they call me BBL jersey is because I give all these girls BBLs. And everyone's just like, we don't want the subliminal acting like you don't care about it no more, bro. Like, you just got whooped.
That's crazy that you said that because that's actually kind of my stance on it too.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, the song was trash. And no, I don't listen to Sexy Red for lyrical content. I know what I'm listening to when I listen to Sexy Red. I like Ski. I like all those songs.
Is he the one that does that song?
Yeah.
Ski.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's not one Sexy Red
It
song
bops. It does.
It slaps, bro.
It does. But like when she came on and hit that first note, I knew that this song was a troll. I knew this whole
Yep.
like she was saying, I was like, okay, this song is making fun of everything. Like they
Has to be.
Like, they
it's his
think-
first song back.
Yeah, like
after
this,
the beef.
this whole thing is a joke. Like they think that we're now laughing with them, and that was the part like what your friend said. Like that's where it kind of got a little tiring for me. It's like, okay, at some point, trolling does not become a defense mechanism. Like it doesn't work anymore. You know what I mean? Like because what trolling does is it makes the joke that's about you, now you're included on the joke too. So now we're all laughing together at this thing and it minimizes the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So she comes on, she hits this god awful note. And I know she knows it's awful. And the mix on the track is terrible. I mean, like, God, I am not an audio engineer whatsoever, but I can mix that song better. Like for half the price. Like the vocals were overdubbed and it was just, and you can even hear, you could tell that it was mixed in two different places because when Drake popped on, his mix was clean. Right? His vocals sounded great. They sounded warm. They sounded, professionally done. And I thought, it was a formal, verse. He did his thing. He bodied the track. However, the contents of it was just kind of lame to me. It was just like, okay, you told Metro to make some drums.
He made
And
some
then
drums.
he bodied you by making some drums, which is absolutely crazy. But then you take his drums and try to turn it into like, this, try to flip it. And it was like, no, just leave it alone.
We're not there with you.
Yeah, we're not here yet.
Yeah, we're not there with you.
Like, just make the song. You know what I mean?
You think
Like-
they had to pay Metro?
No, they didn't.
No, I don't think you bought the rights or something.
That'd be some shit, though.
That would be crazy. I kind of want to know how Metro felt. I'm like, man, I wish like sometimes these artists were more public with you know what I mean? Like, I wish they would post a little bit
Yeah, I
more.
wish there was like a documentary to watch about Kendrick Lamar, like him reacting to the songs.
Yeah.
That'd be so, bro. I want to hear him reacting to the songs. That'd be so sick. If he's just like, what'd he say about me, bro? That's so trash.
Netflix, get on it.
Yeah.
We need that documentary.
Hey,
now.
Also,
speaking-
what does a writing session look like with Kendrick Lamar? To me, I love that stuff. Like, I want to watch that.
Yeah, I think that's fucking grade A entertainment. Right
That's
there.
that's the part that I would really love to be like, because a lot
In
of his
the
songs
room?
had you know, he had those quadruple tundras that, you know, Drake was,
entendres,
that Drake was asking for, and he came out and he had them. Like, how do you come up with that? Like, how do you even come up with that in the title of a song, right? Like 616 in LA.
And it meant so many different things, bro. Even the thing when he's like trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. You know the song Teenage Fever is in A minor?
Yeah. I did hear that, yeah.
I'm like, how are you so aware?
Right, like how are you spending your time, bro? Like, do you not
What do
sleep?
you do? You don't. I think that we shouldn't mess with the kids who are like got their hoodie on and it's just in the background. We shouldn't mess with them because they're thinkers, bro, and they know things.
That's Kendrick.
And I do in a way agree that Drake maybe shouldn't have responded yet. I think he was really reactional, you know, when he responded like that, because obviously he had no plan, right? And Kendrick had a plan. Mm-hmm. And I think Kendrick had a plan for a long time, because not only, like, Control was a competitive rap, you know, call out. But if you go back and listen to the Heart Part 4, like so in Euphoria, when Kendrick says, you know, the last time I shot Mia Drake, my homie told me to aim it this way, he was talking about the Heart Part 4. Because in the Heart Part 4, he was completely taking shots at Drake. The whole track is a diss track. Like, if you think Like That is a diss track, listen to Heart Part 4. It's even worse. Mm-hmm. Right? But I think that he came a little too subliminal on that track. Like, he never mentioned Drake's name, but he was clearly alluding to Drake. So I think, you know, with Like That, it was like, okay.
He got tired of it. He's like,
yeah, he basically, you know, started making it not just subliminal, but actually like, you know, for all your dogs get buried. Like, we talking about you, bro.
Yeah.
And I think Drake was just a little too reactionary, because obviously Kendrick has been planning this for a long time. Mm-hmm. Like, I think a lot of the stuff that he said in these tracks were kind of already premeditated. Mm-hmm. You know, like I'm a Kendrick fan, and I would love to give him the credit that he was thinking of these things in 24 hours to 48 hours, but
he's probably been thinking about it for a long time.
Exactly. There's no way. Like, I'm sorry. I just don't believe that.
So that being all this like stuff, like, I feel like the beef technically started when Kendrick dropped Controller, or when Big Sean dropped Controller, because that's a Big Sean song.
You've seen the interviews where Drake responds to it?
Yeah. And
he's emotional.
Yeah, and I'm just like, he took it the wrong way, in my opinion.
Everybody.
Do you feel like he should just took it as competition?
Yeah. Like, everyone else did. Like, Wale, Big Sean, J. Cole, Big
I don't know why. I would have felt the same way as Drake.
Would you have?
If a guy gets on a song and says all the things that he's saying, but then I see
But what did he really say bad?
On Control?
Yeah, he said, like, he named everyone that he fucks with in rap.
I love you all, but I want to make sure your core fans never heard of you.
It's competition. That's pretty much what he said. Like, yo, it's not sweet. Like, yo, I'm trying to win numbers. I want your fans. Yes. Is that so bad?
I don't know. If you're in the NBA and someone's saying they're the GOAT, and clearly they're not there yet, you know what I'm saying? Like,
roll the ball on the court. Let's find out.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if we're talking numbers, but then Drake wins, but it's not off numbers.
Absolutely, I agree. But like, I just felt like Drake was too emotional in that interview, because, like, you know, he says in that interview, he's like, I saw Kendrick like a week later, and I'm like, is it fake love, or like bro, I'm sure Kendrick had love for you at the time. Mm-hmm. It's competition. The love, like anything.
The love obviously ended somewhere. I think
for sure. I think Kendrick picks up on what you think about Drake. From the jump, probably was just like, I don't like the switch. I like when you were this. Yeah. What did they say? What is the song? Effing Problems. They love bad, and that's Effing Problems. Like, that's their song together. Mm-hmm. And then before that, they have Poetic Justice and all this stuff. And I think during that time, Drake wasn't really the UK rap. He wasn't a drill rap guy. He wasn't all these things. Kendrick probably picks up on that, and people in a circle is like, hey, bro, when you're around this, it's not you.
Kendrick was on Take Care,
especially if you from that.
If you from that, you probably pick up on that, and you're like, I don't like that.
I get that, because, like, I mean, yeah, I get that. Like, I don't like when people act like, you know, they were like this hardcore, you know, gangster. When really, if you come from the hood, you come from the hood. But that doesn't mean that you were in the streets. Those are two different things. Like, like, we come from the hood. We weren't in the fucking streets. So I'm not going to sit there and, like,
street smart.
Like, I'm not going to sit there and bang a set. Like I'm not I'm not gonna sit
I'm not
there.
gonna sit there and act like I did some breaking and enterings or robbed a liquor store. No.
Right. And then at the same time, I'm not also gonna pretend like I can pull somebody else's card. Like that's the part that gets me. It's like that is why like one of the parts on Family Ties that just it kind of had me rolling my eyes like, you know, like, oh, Kendrick, you think you bang a set? I know, you know, Chuck T bangs a set, YG bangs a set. Like, but Drake, you don't bang a set. Like, why are we talking about this? Like, you can't pull anybody's card. Like, stop. Like, you know, get to rapping. And then he got to rapping. And I was like, okay, here we are, you know? And it was still, like, the reason why I can't say, like, sure, okay, if we talk about song, it was a really, 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 really good song.
It was.
It was a really good song. It wasn't even the second best diss song though.
No, I don't think it was the second best.
I don't even know if it was the third.
Dang, bro, you don't think Family Ties was that good?
I don't think it was
This song wise.
I think if we're talking about Kendrick versus Drake, no.
Can I say this? I think that Drake misses it on Family Ties when he goes back to the addressing too many people.
Correct.
We don't care about what you think about A$AP Rocky, dog.
or Rick Ross.
Or Rick Ross.
Or
We're
The
good because we
Weeknd.
don't even care about we're not on Rick Ross's story. Like, man, bro, we really care about this. You know, we don't care.
Yeah, Rick Ross is hilarious.
Yeah, because their careers are over as far as like rap goes, and they don't have too much of a say in the industry anymore.
And that's why
the main thing that we want right now is you to attack Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
And what do you know? Do you know?
and that's how I felt. I felt like I think he didn't have enough material on Kendrick. So I think he filled the space because, you know, Kendrick said you better come with 3 switches. Like,
bro, there's not material to get on Kendrick Lamar. I said this in the beginning. I was like, Drake is gonna lose because Kendrick Lamar is like, okay, you guys seen 8 Mile, right?
Yeah.
B-Rap gets up there and he's like, I am white, I am an effing bum, I do got all these things, and it takes away from what bro's about to say about him. Kendrick Lamar has said everything on all his albums. I failed in this area. The whole big the Big Steppers album is literally like therapy the whole time. And he's like, I'm a messed up man. I've done all these things. I'm trying to learn from it. What could Drake possibly say?
right. And Drake tries to take the same approach and push-ups. Or not push-ups,
Tailor-made freestyle?
Tailor-made, yeah. He tries, but it's...
I wanted to know what you guys thought about that song. Because I hate people's take on it.
What's your take on it, real quick?
They keep trying to discredit the AI stuff and it not having like. It's not.
It's hate my take,
bro. Look, it's not. This is what people have to understand. It's not Drake going on an AI website. Hey, make it say this. It's still his lyrics used by AI. You can hear the way that he raps when it's the Tupac part, bro. It literally sounds like the way that Drake would rap.
Okay, so here's my issue, and this is once again kind of Drake's problem with not being able to kind of read the room. Okay, so when Push-Ups comes out, it doesn't come out officially, right? There's it's a different beat. It's coming from like this leak, right?
It's got some different lyrics in it.
Yeah, we don't know if it's AI or if it's not. Right? Like people are at one point people were convinced like, hey guys, just disregard it. It was AI. Right? That's where people were. Right? That's what the room says. The room says your last diss was probably AI. And then you actually drop in and go, oh, okay. So it wasn't AI? You know, but there's still that question mark. Because now you drop it on what? Instagram, I think? At first?
I saw it on TikTok first.
Okay, and then, but you know, still not on any of the streaming services.
I saw the AI version on TikTok, but the official was on Instagram. Yeah, you.
Okay, yeah. So like now we're like, okay, but are you claiming like is this your track? Right? Like there's still a question mark on it, and then it hits Spotify and blah blah. Now you actually claiming it. It's like, oh, okay. So we should like this song, or we should go and listen to it with the expectation that you wrote it. Maybe. I don't know. Right? There's still that question mark because of how shitty the rollout is. And then your next track is literally using it. I understand the lyrics are his. And I understand that he's the one that's spitting the lyrics and the AI is warping his voice. That part I get. However, once again, read the room. If we thought the last track was possibly AI and you actually do some AI shit, now we're going back to that last track and thinking, holy shit, that was AI. 2. Okay, this this is one of the goes back to the main issue I have with Drake, with him kind of being unauthentic in some of his areas. You don't speak for the West Coast. You're not a West Coast dude. You're from Toronto, and you're battling somebody from the West Coast. And if you know anything about the West Coast, is the West Coast rides for anybody in the West. Like, that's just how we do, right? So when you try to make a track as if Tupac and Snoop, who's literally alive and can speak for himself, then it kind of takes the punch out, and it seems really corny. You know what I mean? Like, without the AI, like, I think it could be a solid track, but just I don't know.
But what would he have gotten on the song and said? All right, here's my perspective of how Snoop.
So
You know what I'm saying? Like,
change the whole thing. Make it
okay.
To me, I love the creativity behind it.
I can agree with that, but here's what he should have done. And I don't know if he has the capability of doing it. He probably does because he's a rapper or is an actor. You remember the song by Nelly, like Bay? Like the Bay?
Yeah.
You never heard that song? So listen to that. Nelly is giving... He's... And he starts rapping in his own voice like different people from the Bay. He does E40. I think he does San Quinn. It was one of them. But he's like taking their style of like rap, their Bay Area style rap, but he's doing it in his own voice. You're an actor, bro. I know you got that.
No,
and I'm not even saying that disrespectfully.
I don't know if I would have wanted that either. I honestly,
I thought that would have been better, like if it was his actual voice.
Honestly, I would have just loved it if he came with some bars. Like, just,
Drake.
yeah, just come, I mean, now we're in a rap battle. Come with some bars. Leave the gimmicks at home. You know, leave all the posting on the Instagram of somebody's manager in an OVO shirt. Like, nobody gives a fuck about that. Like, guys, just come in here and rap. Like, leave the antics home. You're supposed to be the best rapper.
in being so connected to the social media world.
Yeah, and he's 37 years old, and I like. Okay, so you said something earlier.
I'm 36.
You said something earlier about like, you know, when like it hurts your feelings sometimes when kids don't think, you know, you're cool. When you that hurts my feelings too, because it makes me feel old as fuck. Because I'm 32, and like I now understand. Like, I've come to cope with it because we coach high school basketball. I'm not that guy anymore. Like. You ever see like in those movies where like the dad tries to use like the current lingo, and then the kids look at him kind of silly,
Yeah.
and they're like,
That's us.
That's me.
You got to understand
That's
who
us.
Drake hangs out with, bro.
But that's the weird part is Drake doesn't realize he's the old dude in the crowd. Like, he thinks he's still 25.
But we still think that too.
I
We
don't.
Y'all are his age. Y'all are his age though. So maybe amongst his peers, people are gonna say you're not that. But all he's doing is staying relevant within the culture.
He
Which is
tries
fine.
to. It's
fine.
yeah. It's great marketing, and because of that,
Yeah.
he will have a long lasting career, and he will continue to be successful.
My favorite
to a
part of the
certain
Taylor
point.
made freestyles, by the way, is the ending where he's like just talking.
Yeah, up to a certain point. I think Drake will at some point need to switch it up, and I think that people do want to hear that because that's why his numbers have dwindled down. People, sure, there are some people that don't think of Drake's age, but there's a lot of people who've been fans of Drake for a really, really, really long time, and they're going, "Wait a minute, I'm 32." So this guy must not be, you know, in his 20s. Like, I need to hear some matured music. Like, cool, you can still make us dance. You can still come out with pop records. I want that from you, matter of fact.
Yeah.
You know, but like,
I felt it.
maybe I don't want, you know, this anymore. And I think
I'm
that,
beginning to feel it for sure.
you know, I think that I just wish Taylor Made was just him coming at Kendrick showing his prowess of a lyricist. I think that's what we all wanted. I think the battle took a wild turn that it didn't need to. You know what I mean? Like, I would have loved if everything would have stayed, you know, cool. Like,
Hip-hop.
everything would have stayed hip hop, and, you know, we would have been able to just say, okay, Kendrick got him because Kendrick, you know, came hard on this, or Drake got him because Drake, you know, came hard on this. But no, we got Pusha T versus Drake 2.0. And that's unfortunately
To the
It
max.
just gets ugly, bro. It gets so ugly.
unfortunately that's where people want now in the rap beef. They're all that's
Someone
what they're
has to die,
expecting.
bro.
Yeah.
Someone has to die.
It always been like that.
It's
when
always
it
been
comes
like
to
that, I would
beef,
say.
though.
No,
Like,
that's not true.
I feel like people were literally dying.
There was a bunch of just, you know, like, okay, if you look at the Nas and Jay-Z beef, none of them were telling the truth, and they know they weren't telling the truth.
I think
and
that
everybody
beef's
knows
an
that.
anomaly though. But look at every other beef that's happened. Like 50 Ja Rule got buried.
No, Ja Rule, but there wasn't like Ja Rule has a kid, you know, like it was just like
No,
hey,
I
Ja
mean,
Rule's fake
okay,
and
so
phony,
it's
and
like different styles of the beef, I would say, but like someone has to get buried at the end of the day.
Do you guys watch like actual battle rap?
yeah,
Yeah,
Smack.
yes,
Yeah.
bro. Smack you. I love that stuff. That's like my
used to-
guilty pleasure. Is I'm in my room actually watching 40-minute videos.
I used to run a league.
That's fire, bro. Don DeMongo, bro. And I think that's the approach that it's had now. People are trying to kill people in battle rap. What can I say about you that these people don't know yet?
Right, some disparaging information.
Yeah,
He's
and,
really
and,
Watching
divorced.
math.
and that's what I think people want. I think even Drake, like, he wanted to do that with the whole, like Kendrick beating his wife.
Which
He wanted to do it with that, but
so bad. He tried.
Backfired.
he tried to, bro.
He tried really hard to do it.
So,
And you could tell he was digging for something, even on push-ups. Like I'd be with some bodyguards like Whitney, like, but there was no, you know, we already know there's no proof in that.
What do y'all
But
think about the whole when Kendrick goes for the whole 11-year-old daughter thing and that not being true? Doesn't matter.
So we talked about this on the last episode. I personally wish that verse, even if there was an 11-year-old daughter, I kind of wish that verse wasn't even on the track. Mm-hmm. I think even without that verse, the song does.
Meet the Grams.
Yeah, that song
Yeah.
does exactly what it's supposed to do.
100%.
You know, like I feel like the first verse and the last verse were the best.
First,
So last
lyric.
episode I didn't agree. Last episode I didn't agree with you, right?
Yeah,
I felt like it needed to be said last episode. I'm pretty sure that's what I said.
yeah, that's what you said.
I've changed my mind.
about
That what he said, like the baby girl, the dear baby girl, and he's talking about all that stuff. I feel like it would have been the same, like without that verse.
Because that wasn't even the best verse. It was shock value. It took
Facts.
away from everything that was happening before that song even came out.
yeah,
Like, now
everyone's
you're
like, oh my God, if he has another kid,
it was like screw Family Ties. Like we
if he has another kid, it's a wrap.
Every time you beef, you get a kid over.
Yeah,
apparently.
what? I'm like, Drake, you just have to shut up, bro.
The best verse in that song is probably the first verse.
That's what I said. The
Dear
first
Adonis.
verse and the second verse when he's actually talking to Drake, like that to me was cold.
That's
that to
that's
me
the-
He's
was
got to
like,
be going. He's got to be
that's the
going through it
fourth
right now,
verse.
bro.
yeah.
Oh man,
I like when he's talking to his parents too. I'm not gonna lie.
dear Dennis,
Savannah.
just on him, just like
See, and that's the funniest part about that whole thing is that's where once again Drake doesn't read the room. Is that in that he's literally telling his parents that your son is a pedophile, and Drake goes on Instagram and says, "I have an 11-year-old daughter." Like, wait a minute, bro. Like that
was the bait though. I feel like what it was the bait. Is like if I can get you to address this thing that's not real and you not address the other thing that I'm saying,
then
then you're really in trouble. And he fell for it. And he goes on
did.
Instagram and says, if someone could find my kid, I'll work for academics. It's like, brother, talk about the pedophile stuff.
yeah, like we need you to disclaim that now.
We need to just So,
And he
but then
was
what?
too
Okay,
late to
what
do that,
about
too.
what about the heart part 6 when he's getting on there and he's saying like, where's the paperwork? Where's this stuff? Is that valid? Like,
I don't think no. Okay.
do y'all think Drake is a pedophile?
I don't know. I don't want to say he's not. I don't want to say he is.
This is where I was battling as a fan because I was like, if he really is, bro, I have to stop listening.
He
Okay, this is where
here's my perfect example.
Go ahead.
Josh Giddey.
Okay,
There's no paperwork on him. In fact, the NBA just dismissed the whole case. So I mean,
but also wasn't he? Okay. Yeah.
So,
So-
Is he
so-
not? Yeah, that's way different. That's just different to me.
it's different, but it's the same.
So this
Because
is where I'm at with it.
underage
go
kid
ahead.
is an
Is
underage
Drake a
kid.
pedophile? Well, how do we define pedophilia? Okay, this is someone who
Underage.
has acts with somebody who's sexual acts with somebody who's underage.
Okay.
Do I think Drake is doing that? No, I don't think Drake is having sexual acts with someone who's underage. However,
What about grooming?
that's
You
what I was
think
going to say.
he's grooming?
However, he does groom. And the unfortunate thing is,
What's the definition of grooming?
so grooming would be like if I'm 32 years old and there's somebody who's 16 years old, and I am, in a way, building
Staying in
a
contact.
relationship with them. I am creating this image of what they should be with, and that image is looking like me, and I'm staying connected to them to the point to where there is some romantic involvement. However, it's not being acted upon until they turn of age, and then now we are acting upon that. I do think that happens. I do think that he does participate in that type of behavior.
I don't think he's the only one that does, though.
Of course,
but yeah,
of course not. And I think the biggest parts to me is where like I see like okay, so Haley Bieber, or Haley Baldwin, what she was at that time. There's basically this information out there that her and Drake went out for her 18th birthday. They rented out a whole restaurant, and they got dinner together, and it was romantic, and there was kissing involved, and they may have or may not slept together, but there's still kissing and all that involved. Then when she gets questioned about their relationship, she goes, "Oh no, me and Drake are just friends, and we've known each other for 5 years." Okay, but you just turned 18.
That's us.
Okay, right. You just turned 18.
5 years. That's 13 years old.
And
Brother.
he takes you out on your 18th birthday, and during your 18th birthday, there is a romantic connection there. There's no way you can convince me that romantic connection did not take place before, whether or not there was kissing or anything else like that, or even any type of sexual conversations happening. Obviously there was feelings there before she turned of age. How did those feelings take place? And those are inappropriate relationships to me. I think he does have inappropriate relationships with minors. Would you call that pedophilia? I don't know. Be the judge. But
I don't know. I feel like you got to wait 30 days if you turn 18 to even take him on a date.
30 days. That's crazy.
I'm just not having any type of...
You want to say a year?
I'm not having any type of relationships with any man's daughter. That's just what it is. Like, I'm not going to be texting.
What? Hold on.
I'm not going to be texting some fucking 16-year-old. There's no reason for me to text a 16-year-old.
Okay, no, that makes sense. But
not
say
literal.
Okay, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, gotcha. I'm like, wait, what?
you know what I mean?
Because everyone's someone's daughter.
Well, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not,
Just want someone to spawn up.
Right, there's no reason for me to have any type of conversation. Like, that conversation could be had with her parents. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to be texting.
Can you imagine just texting their parents about like someone's daughter?
Yeah, see, even that's sus. Right? Like, just, leave it alone, bro. Like, she's not of age. Dog, you're 37. There's plenty of options. You're Drake. Right? Like, if you
literally can have almost every
right,
girl
like,
in the
if you
world.
want somebody, you can have them. You don't need this fresh 18-year-old. Like, just let the shit,
Fresh is so crazy.
let the shit age, man. Like,
Yeah. Just make the minimum 21, bro.
yeah, there we go. You don't need to pop the wine
Go
open.
Leo
soon
on
as
him. 25. You can't be
Yeah, man.
He's so crazy.
drinking age.
Drinking age. I'm like, my personal limit, I'll go 3 years under and 3 years over.
See, and that's
21 to 27?
And that's
Yep.
everybody's limits. You notice that everybody goes, "Oh yeah, it's my age and down." It's never like, "Oh yeah, I'd fuck a 19-year-old."
You're
like,
married,
it's never
so
that.
I mean, I was going to
That's
ask you, what
creepy.
would have been your
For me, it was much more straight.
to ask someone like another guy, what's your age limit of dating?
For
It's
me, it was
weird.
much more straight. It was 2 years, and then it wasn't even 2 years before my wife. My wife was 2 years younger than me. She was the first. Before that, it was 1 year, and it was not because of. It wasn't really because of age. It was like,
maturity.
yeah, I feel like one time, like I attempted to date somebody who was like 3 years younger than me, and my God, the conversations that she was
Sucks,
trying to have.
It sucks, bro.
No,
It sucks, bro.
man,
You just want to tell
my
them to
God.
shut up.
and
Bro. Bro.
What's the youngest, like... Okay, that's... I'm trying not to make this sound weird.
right. What's the youngest?
I'm trying not to... Okay, adult-wise, what's the youngest, like, you've talked to, like, girl-wise?
Like 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
And see, even that's probably a big difference, too, huh?
It sucked.
No, that's tough. That's see, no, because that's still in that age where like you're trying to do sneaky shit, like have alcohol when you're not even 21, and you're trying to live it up, and you haven't got that out your system yet.
Yeah, I'm afraid of who you're going to become when you turn 21.
Yeah,
We don't even really know who you are yet.
No, you haven't made enough mistakes yet. That's what I need. That's what I need. Like I need.
Most people don't find out who they were till they hit like their mid 20s, like 25 through 28.
I need you to go through life. I need you to have some war wounds first. Like we need.
That sounds crazy.
What war wounds?
War rooms.
Like I need
wounds.
I need
Have some crisis in your life.
I need some dick ran through.
I do want to see
not
therapy
that.
papers.
Like I just need to know.
I need your heart broken at least 5 times
I
before
need
you
to
talk to
know
me.
how you deal with issues. Like do you run devices? Like is that what you're gonna do?
Bro, that is that's really good. That's really good advice though. For dating, bro.
Just the way you worded it is kind of crazy.
Where do you run to?
You gotta have
trials
battle
come. Where do you run
scars before
to?
talk to me.
Right. Like do you go to substances? Do you go to eat? I mean, there's even worse things.
Alcohol?
You know? Yeah. Eating, drinking,
alcohol.
or cheating, because girls do that.
Yeah.
Sniffing coke, you know.
Yeah, I know plenty of girls who were saints. And then they had some, trials in their lives, and those trials, it became the season that they're in. That's who they are, unfortunately, and I wish them the best and
No judgment.
No judgment. Everybody
Do you?
Everybody can get, pull themselves out at any point. Some people have, 30-year seasons of just that. So,
Facts. That's a fact.
They're never forgotten about. So,
I also do feel like those people also need to hold accountability for themselves as well. Because a lot of people don't hold accountability for themselves, no matter the age. They always blame someone else instead of looking in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of people need to look in the mirror if they're going through some shit. Fuck, I did. I realized I was doing dumb shit with shit recently.
Mm-hmm.
Had to look in the mirror. All right, I'm being an idiot. I got to be smarter.
That's even sometimes in the faith world, a lot of people blame things on the devil, and I'm just like, bro, I was just dumb, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just dumb.
The devil made me do it.
I got in my car and drove to the club.
Yeah.
He was not forcing me to go there.
I could have said no. I could have been
I could have said no.
I'm just trying to chill at home and watch a movie or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
But no. People, like I said, people don't hold themselves accountable for anything that they do. It's always someone else's fault.
Yeah.
That shit pisses me off, by the way.
Or even the good that they do. They don't even try.
People can't ask me for advice because I'm not gonna just take their side. Well, what did you do to put yourself in this position? I have a friend that
I will say that's true about Roger.
I know a person.
Roger doesn't sugarcoat anything.
I don't. He knows this. I don't. I have a person that this person used to. Actually, person owes me a lot of money too, to be honest. But I'm a very helpful person.
You know who you are.
I mean, look at the camera.
They probably still won't get it though. But anyways, I got a random message one day, this person telling me they wanted to hurt themselves, and I'm you need therapy. That's literally was my response. Mm-hmm. And I know this person struggles, but it's with their parents, and I'm just no parent's perfect. Mm-hmm. Let's just say that no parent is perfect. Parents make mistakes. Children make mistakes. For instance, not everyone has a great relationship with their parents, but it's not always the parent's fault. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to look in the mirror and be what did I do as growing up that made them feel this way? It's not just they did this, they did that, they did this. No, you did something too to make them feel this way about you. Mm-hmm. The sooner you figure that out, the sooner your relationship will mend with your parents. Mm-hmm. I can't stand someone who plays a victim. I really can't, because that's not how the world works. You did something to make them feel that way, and you need to figure it out. Yep. I see a look in your eye. What's that, Print?
No, I was gonna say some people don't even jump on the boat. There's a parable. Well, there's a parable where a guy stuck in the ocean, and he's praying for God to come save him, and then a boat comes by, and then they ask him to get on the boat, and he goes, "No, God got me." And 3 more boats pass by, and then he ends up drowning. And he asks God, "Why didn't you save me?" "I did. Sent you 3 boats." Most people Most people don't even try to save themselves.
It's true.
Which, like, you know, like it's there. Like, you got to take the action to do it. Now, I wanted to touch on future music coming from Pastor B. What is the new listener going to hear? What could they expect? What's the vibe? Mm-hmm. What type of music do you want to make?
Yeah, it's interesting being in this place right now too. Like, you guys probably called me in as like an artist and stuff, but I do feel like I'm transitioning to more of like
poetry.
Yeah, more of the poetry side. Just because, bro, I love the crowd engagement. And I've always struggled with like production. As far as like choosing beats, which ones do I like? I'm listening to them, and it could be the greatest sounding beat, but in my own mind, I'm like, I can't write a song to this. I don't know how to. But when I have zero limitations and all it is just writing down what I think, I just love to express myself in that way.
I can get that.
And I'm not limited to a certain flow. I can switch it at any point that I want to. So it is new territory for me. I feel like I just discovered that gifting within the last couple of years. And so for me, whether it's tying it into like sermons or tying it into like motivational speaking, I just want to use my rapping ability in bits and pieces of it.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So it'll be regular talking absolutely. Like this. Here's the parable when the boat came by and stuff like this. But then I'll go into the parable and describe what it have been like for that man in spoken word form.
Yeah.
And then go back into speaking again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of use like just pull from different giftings.
Okay. So how is that going to be available to the listener? Like where could we find that?
That would be like live events here in like Sacramento. I think something that I've been passionate about is there's a club event, there's a Sacramento event, there's a Foodie Land Sacramento, and all these things like going on all the time. And a lot of like just Christian events to me seem very limited. And I just want to have like an open door space where people can come and hear a different perspective. And so I am working like with a team right now of getting like some like poetry events going on in Sacramento, some more open mic nights. And there is a scene for it in Sacramento.
About to host it?
Yeah, I want to host my own.
Yeah. Dope, bro. Mm-hmm. Let us know. We'll try to pull up.
For sure.
We'll pull up for sure.
Definitely.
Do you got any events you're doing in the future?
Yeah,
coming up
Monday. I have an event in Sacramento called Anthem Nights.
I saw that on your Instagram. Yeah. Not gonna lie, this probably won't be. I don't know if this will be out by Monday. Mm-hmm. But do you have anything else going on in the future that people can like look forward to or like try to find you at or
that following?
You want to plug it?
Yeah, following on that Friday, the same week. Our church is having our first service, and I'll be doing a spoken word over there. Mm-hmm. And then beyond that, I'll be putting all of my energy into starting my first event for spoken word and stuff. And that's up in the air. I don't have a date for that yet.
You got like a venue you're looking at right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. But just follow me on Instagram, man. Pastor B Music. I'll always keep people updated on my stories.
That's the plug right there. Pastor B Music.
Pastor B
you want to shout out to
sir.
TikTok too?
Love Pastor B, man. Come send me a galaxy.
Okay.
On my story or something.
So I think I hope you prepared it. I asked you to a couple of weeks ago when we were planning this.
He wants to hear me rap, bro.
No, or like I even said you want to hear like a some type of like spoken word poetry that you got going on right now, where we want you to like kind of do a little performance.
If you got something.
If you got something like even if honestly if it's something that you've already done, that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
Like.
Let's see, bro.
Putting you on the spot right now,
Nah, I respect it.
This is a new segment that we're doing here on Shit Talk, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you're a future artist, be prepared. Or a poet,
Yeah, coming with your BlackBerry like Drake used to do.
Yeah.
Those videos.
Yep.
All right, so there's a game one of my friends put me on called Connect. And basically they give you two words and you have to connect that in a poem or a rap, and they don't have to directly relate each other. You don't have to stay on the topic. You just have to use the two words.
Okay.
And so at this particular one, they had given me purple and painting, and this is what I came up with. That.
All right, let's hear it.
I say, Lord Jesus, Is my sacrifice a pleasing aroma? I need to know ya. Wake me from the slumber I'm living, but it's a coma. Moving when my spirit is pulling to get me closer. It's this dance I can't resist. I keep swinging, trying to control ya. Tell me how this image you painted me is your everything. Never thought my vision would fog up. I'm missing better things. Beams could light my city, but Jesus, you light up everything. If purple ain't enough for my city, show me the better things.
Fire.
And that's Purple and Painting.
That's hard.
Yeah. Thank you, bro. Appreciate
That's
it.
fire.
Thank you.
Are we supposed to snap with spoken word? Is that how it goes?
They do snap, bro. I like
Okay,
it. That's
okay.
actually really cool. When it first happened, I was like, that is so peaceful.
Yeah. It's not.
I
It's
hate
not
clapping.
So,
Clapping
Yeah,
is so
the
much.
snap is just so much better.
That's
No, that
cool,
was dope,
man.
bro.
all right.
Thanks, bro.
That's fire. That's
Yeah.
fire.
I told you I'd write something new, but then I got booked for the Anthem Nights and then one for our service, and I was like, I'm not putting any energy into anything else other than
I feel it.
those two projects.
Yeah.
And I have this like standard for myself that every time I do an event, I will not recycle projects.
I respect it.
Yeah. And a lot of people are like, bro, just recycle projects so it's easier for you. I'm like, I don't feel good as a artist if I don't share something.
So, where's Anthem Nights going to be at again?
It's here in Sacramento. Yeah, it'll be here in Sacramento, bro.
So you said it was like some. I just like Freeport or something, right?
Yeah, you gotta
I'll
get
check
a
the
ticket.
Instagram. I'll
Yeah.
check the Instagram. How much are tickets?
Yep.
Oh, I said how much are tickets? He said, "Yep."
Yeah, they
Okay.
might be like it's probably like 40, $50.
Ooh, yeah, I won't be
Might
going.
be. He said I will not be there.
I'll be snapping from from a distance.
I'll sneak you in, bro.
All right. Anything else that you want to shout out or?
Any plugs you want to do?
Man,
You can even plug your IG, TikTok, your Apple Music, Spotify. All
yeah,
of it,
follow me on
anything.
Instagram, Pastor B Music. I will say follow my brother Josh P, Josh P from California, on Instagram. Up next, bro. It's up next. Y'all looking at getting him on a podcast? I'd love to hear him. Bro.
I'd love to have it. Make the connect, bro. I'll follow him on
Please.
IG and
Yes, sir.
let us know. We're a lot different than a lot of podcasts. I feel in our own way. We're more authentic. Like I said, we're not gonna like.
There's no agendas here.
Yeah,
It's pretty
Like,
true to the title.
we
we just talk
anything
about
we
it.
think about.
Yeah.
Like
There's no
very
agendas.
creative too. By the way, our titles.
Yeah, simply how I think.
Yeah, he came up with it.
I did.
That was my
Simply
idea
How-
to
Simply
use it
How
for
I
the
Think.
podcast, but he came up with it years ago. When he was trying to be a rapper.
Yeah, I used to rap. I was terrible though. I was.
OMG, it's the cab.
Oh, jeez, the cab. That's crazy.
That was your name?
No, that was at my handle, but the cab was what I went by.
Gotcha.
The cab.
The cab.
Where'd that come from?
Where did it come
Were you
from?
driving people around?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was a little, because I'm taking people places. something real, like thinking I was deep, but I wasn't really that deep.
That's low key a bar.
Low key.
All right,
Anyways,
y'all. This has been Simply How I Think. Cousin P, Rogelio. Thank you, Pastor B.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you being on. I hope you decide to come back in the future.
Heck yeah, I'll come back tomorrow, bro.
Tomorrow's crazy.
That's
But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in.